The Amateur International Boxing Association, AIBA, in a historic move, voted 84-0 to allow professional boxers to fight in the Olympics. They've opened up a can of worms with this. They've opened up a can of any word you can pick to fill in the blanks on this one. First thing that comes to mind is take a 30-fight veteran who decides it's important for him to win a gold medal, and he decides to fight he gets an opening round matchup against some kid and just some amateur and just dominates him. I mean, and pretty much destroys the kid's career before it gets started. But then another thing that comes to mind is what if somebody that's a pound for pound top 10 fighter decides, okay, I want to go for a gold medal, and they get stopped in the first round by an amateur. I mean, what does that do to that pound for pound guy's career? Oh boy, I tell you. I mean, on top of that, the Olympics are supposed to be about safety. And the timing of this is just, it doesn't sit well. It sit well with me. If a 30-fight guy dominates an amateur, that's one thing. But remember, there were some rule changes as far as scoring. That's one thing. But now Olympic boxing has no headgear. So I just think this whole thing has danger written all over it. I mean, 84-0 on the votes. And people have chimed in. People have chimed in. The British Boxing or the British Boxing Board of Control, or BBFC, they issued an announcement. It is the belief of the BBFC that such a move is against the spirit of the Olympics, disrespectful to many amateur boxers who, through the Olympic cycle, compete around the world in qualifying tournaments, and ultimately dangerous. It is the hope of the BBFC and many within the professional sport in Great Britain and throughout the world that the AIBA reconsider such a move that is not beneficial to the sport as a whole. The ABC, Association of Boxing Commissions, their board of directors chimed in. As president of, and this is by Michael Mazzulli, as president of the Association of Boxing Commissions, the board of directors and I are disappointed in AIBA's decision to allow amateur boxers to compete with professionals. Even worse than just a majority vote, the vote of 84-0 is a statement in and of itself. The ABC is committed to fighter safety, so hopefully the committee will consider the potential risks and future ramifications of allowing amateur boxers to compete with professional boxers. Surely their decision should be determined by athlete safety. And they just went on to say, well, as we know in boxing, one bad matchup can mean the difference literally in life and death. And they went on to ask them to reconsider. And got some comments from some people. Current world champion Carl Frampton. What about the amateurs who've been dreaming of the Olympics for years, have yet to qualify, and some pro takes their spot at the last minute? Because I think this is effective immediately. So to my Shakur Stevensons and guys out there, keep the faith. Ricky Hatton, pro boxers in the Olympics. What are AIBA thinking? Goodbye amateur boxing now, as far as I'm concerned. Can't say I'm a fan of this. Eddie Hearn, promoter. Pro boxers in the Olympics only relevant to countries where their governments will effectively pay them to take part. Definitely not us. Now, Billy Joe Saunders, he had a different take on this. Love to win the Olympic Games, put the icing on the cake. So when you talk to NBA people who've won multiple championships, and you talk to other athletes, and they ask them, you can check past interviews and what have you. They ask them, what's their signature moment? What's their famous moment? Most of them don't talk about the championships. They say that Olympic gold medal, whether they mean it or not. And I think they meant it. Winning for their country. I think a lot of professionals are going to step up. And let's say a professional like an Emmanuel Augustus, who on a good night can give anybody a great fight back in the day. But his record, when you looked at his record, you wouldn't assume that. Well, let's say he decides to there's another pro, skip the amateurs at this point, there's another professional boxer who faces Augustus, and Augustus beats him. Once again, what does that do to that professional's stock, to their market value, to their ratings? I mean, I understand it's not a title fight or anything like that, but we're only human, and worse things have been held against better people. So this is something that's going to be debated for quite a while. Excuse me. So when we go to Tokyo in 2020, this thing will, unless some changes, unless they take a look at this and go back to the way it was, it might not affect Rio as much as it will the Olympics in Tokyo. But I'm not discounting Rio, because there's some professional in some gym somewhere strongly contemplating being a participant. Fans, let us know what you think. This is this one is going to be debated quite a while. This is a big story. I know a lot of people aren't into Olympic boxing, but this is the ramifications, pro, amateur, however you want to call it, whatever you want to say. It's this is big. We're gonna have more on this. We're gonna definitely have more on this as news continues to spill out. Please select the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Also follow us on Twitter at The Fight Journal, or you can select the link below this video. Also, please go to thefightjournal.com. Select that link below, and when you get to thefightjournal.com, on the top left and also at the bottom, you'll see something that says follow blog via email. Please select that so you can stay updated. You'll get, every time we do a video or post something to the site, it'll come to your email, and you can check it out. But we definitely want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we're going to continue bringing interviews and with fighters and just analysis on what's going on. This doesn't sit well with a lot of people, and 84-0. It almost. I'm not saying it is. It almost sounds agenda driven. 84-0. I sure like to see those ballots. I sure like to see a recount. I sure like to check the authenticity of this, but you best believe somewhere, some way, this is about some money. This is about money exchanging hands, and this is about money to be made. And I'll come back later on and break that down for you. But until then, please subscribe and follow us.